Hi, Rich Lighter here, and welcome to my channel, The Naked Booktuber. This is a study of Two Heads by Peter Paul Rubens. I saw this painting in the Metropolitan Museum when I was, I guess, about 25, in my 20s. I was living in New York at the time. And even though I wasn't painting yet, and I wasn't really interested that much in old master paintings, I passed this painting and I stopped, and I just had to pause and study it. I was so taken by the original. There was a detail that was given to the strands of hair that would capture the light in the original painting that was really just breathtaking, and I always remembered that painting. It always stuck with me. And now, about half a century later, well, here I am. I tried painting this study by Rubens with acrylic about a year and a half ago, and it didn't turn out very well, so I tried it again just now with oil paints, and it's better. The background is not quite the background in the original, and of course, by my copying this painting, and particularly his beard and his hair, you really realize what an incredibly light touch Rubens had. I analyzed the painting, I looked at it, and I noticed that basically, you have to be very careful when you're doing the beard. The beard can't be too big or too long, or it's going to make the main figure look like a Neanderthal or a caveman, and it's just going to look stupid. It's going to look like a joke. And that's what I did originally when I was working on this. I made the beard way too long, and I had to trim it down lengthwise and widthwise. And I studied it. I kept looking at the painting, and I noticed that there were really three big light sources that I needed to capture. The most obvious light source is the face. That's where the center of attention is. And then you go down, and there's the beard. Now, the first half of the beard, directly below his chin, is the second light source. It's not quite as light as the face is, but it'll capture the viewer's eye. And then to the right part of the beard is not quite as bright, but it's still kind of bright. So the face is the lightest, then the main half of the beard straight down, and then on the right side, not quite as bright. So I was aware of that when I was painting this. I don't know if it comes across in this video. The lighting here is not great. So I did that, and I was able to get rid of the caveman, the Neanderthal look. And let me just try to. Let's try to first give you the. His face. The face is good, my face, but again, it's, I'm using as my source material the image on the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Metropolitan Museum of Art website. You just type in Rubens and you'll see this picture there. The red, it's good, but it just doesn't have the juiciness of the original. But it's good. I like the figure in the background. I did that. The figure in the foreground, I did a grisaille underpainting, but the figure in the background, the bald-headed guy, I just did it alla prima. He's not supposed to be quite as bright. He's just like a shadow. It's such an arresting picture. This is just a gaze, So there's my attempt at doing the flecks of hair. Yeah. Now, I suppose you could look at this main figure and see him as maybe an ancient Hebrew, an Israelite. I suppose you could see him as, who knows, maybe Jesus, or maybe as a disciple of Jesus. Yeah, in other words, you could see this painting, I suppose, in a religious context. But I don't. I look around me now, and man right now, as I'm speaking, is what Nietzsche would call the last man. To me, anyway. And if what we have now in our species is the fruition of the last man, well, then this main head, he would be the first man, the original man who is searching for meaning, who has all of his emotions, all of his faculties intact. It's a man who's struggling, trying to grapple with life, all the things that we've lost now. He's kind of like primal man. There's a great vigor, a great strength to this human being, a primitive, volcanic strength, which is what makes the picture for me. And the second figure, of course, in the background only magnifies the power of the main head. The secondary character looks kind of sneaky, kind of clever, kind of like a somebody who's just kind of interested in looking at his bank account and seeing how much more he can amass. That kind of a grasping man. But the first one, he's pure majesty. And that's it.